That's Mr. Thompson P Gnanam, Chief Digital Business Officer from Conneqt. He has over 27 years of experience managing P&L, sales, marketing, business, digital transformation, outsourcing management. Has a very good global experience actually in enabling clients, leading them to various efficiencies, business efficiencies of very high order through transformations as well. He is also co-authored the Hewlett-Packard Global Business Service BPO operating model. He's worked with multiple organizations, very large organizations like Hewlett-Packard, Vodafone, Exavat, and Lebara.
Thank you, Kalyan. Good morning, everybody. I think a very interesting question as well. I'll try and probably answer this in two parts. One is how is technology transforming the finance function, and who's the new digital finance leader? And then you also asked about data. Probably I'll try and separate these two and try and answer this question. So I think today, as we are in the midst of this, COVID pandemic, which has fundamentally reset all business models. It's kind of set new normals. What it also has done is it's accelerated digital adoption. I think that's a very, very key change we have seen, and it's also very interesting for us also to see from a digital business perspective, how the life cycles have shortened and how we are able to quickly see customers adopt and adapt this, very, very quickly. And a lot of CFOs, if you look at it, the core focus in the first part of the year, I think we've been struggling with the pandemic for almost 6 months, has been, they've been focused on trying to use technology to see how to quickly stabilize their business, safeguard liquidity, and then also try and build strategic objectives for the future, because this has been the key, deliverables for most of the CFOs as they've been battling this in every businesses. But now, from a reactive mode, and the world is getting used to this new normal, and global economy is also, it's starting to recalibrate. The game has totally changed. So, and the CFOs are also, I'm seeing very quickly, accelerating their adoption. During the first 6 months, the way I look at it, probably the focus was to look at accelerate inbound cash flows. Can I look at some quick systems, technologies, innovations to do that, to keep my cash flows, control my spends? But now slowly everyone is kind of recalibrating themselves and trying to see how to kind of prepare for this new way forward. That's where I see the CFO as the new digital leader, because that's a norm, the way I look at it. And maybe I will try and explain what makes a digital finance leader from a technology perspective. One of the very important parts is to reevaluate legacy finance processes, to transform, to drive efficiency, implement intelligence process automation at scale, because we need to continuously automate transaction-based processes and focus on judgment-based, and cognitive processes. Have a clear view also what data holds value to the organization. It's very important for a CFO to really focus on what doesn't add value, or what data makes value for the organization, and also drive improved decision making and performance management. So, on the question of technology, which are now driving or fueling this change, right from AI, from robotic process automation, advanced analytics, and machine learning, are now become the key catalyst, for this unprecedented change which is happening. And all of us have to quickly adapt this And the important point is also probably I will also maybe call upon some frameworks. Let's say, for example, talk about technology leaders such as Oracle, and they call agile digital finance. So, what is agile digital finance? It's Oracle says that this is built on 3 pillars. One is operation excellence. So, how do I incorporate intelligent technologies like AI, ML, and blockchain in my processes? Digital intelligence, building the analytical skills and personal capabilities, needed to run processes efficiently. And business influence, this is a very important point for us CFOs today. So how do we free up our talent and resources from mundane rule-based work to start focusing on more digital disruption and influence digital strategy? I think that's a very important point. So operation excellence, digital intelligence, and business influence. So this is typically what would define the modern agile digital finance leader. So that's the first part of the question, Kalyan. Maybe I'll quickly touch upon the data part of it, because it's a very interesting part as well, in terms of data. And I also feel the CFO function and the CFOs are best suited to leverage the power of data, because data sciences is business sciences. And if I look at data in terms of the 4 V's of data, volume, variety, velocity, and veracity, I think the CFOs are the best leaders to understand this, in terms of using data to inform, to drive more informed, enhanced decision making. I think that's a very, very powerful capability which the CFOs could leverage. From an overall data sciences perspective, also, the CFOs could now use data sciences to drive better data definitions, data standards, because of their understanding of data itself. The success of various data sciences models become more effective, and also if they could also integrate this with other operational information real time using other technologies, it becomes a very powerful combination of digital support systems, especially when you could probably harness the power of advanced predictive and analytics. So I think that's where, in my mind, how it. To your question, Kalyan, in terms of how data could probably fuel this transformation. Yeah.
Excellent.
So over to you.
Excellent, Thompson. Excellent, Thompson. Data and technology, and you gave a simple definition of the new role of a CFO, digital finance leader, probably that may be used for an organization design as well. Thank you, Thompson, for that, actually.
I think, all our colleagues spoke about it. I would say, just to summarize, if you ask me, I would call it a shared services digital transformation toolkit. What is in this toolkit? If you ask me, it's fundamentally it is intelligent technology orchestration. Can I very quickly orchestrate technology? I don't have long cycle time. I don't have long delivery period. So I need to kind of quickly do that. That's point number 1. Then can I use NLP, NLG, computer vision powered, data extractors and all this good stuff, because we deal with a lot of documentation. That's the second point, right? And how do I increase the quality of that? The third is, you touched upon it, Kalyan, which you spoke about rapid application deployment. That's the new buzzword, but in simple English, it's low code, no code. Fundamentally, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so low code, no code, and which is probably building on the foundations of operations excellence and operations automation. Can we quickly create new workflows? Can we quickly automate processes? Things like that. So that's the second one. How do we quickly do that? The The fourth part is, how do we train the bots? How do we train these bots? How do we kind of, help these bots mature from a self-learning, from a machine learning perspective? The fifth is, it's all end-to-end processes. The entire shared services is moving towards end-to-end processes with digital insight. So digital is going to be an insight component which helps you manage these processes more effectively and drive efficiency. And last but not least, I think all of us spoke about it. One is, how do I real-time monitor, drive compliance, and manage exception management, right? That's a very, very important part of it. The other very important question you also touched upon is the human-humanoid coexistence. Because on that, if I touch upon for a single minute on that is, it's a new normal, new reality, how humans and humanoids can coexist, how digital workforce and human workforce can coexist. The key learnings I have taken away from, for the last 20 years, we learned so much on Toyota Production Systems, a firm believer of industrial engineering, such as yourself, Kalyan, has helped us, services industry adopt that. I think the key takeaway is what Judoka teaches us is automation with the human touch. So maybe we'll have to probably examine Toyota Production Systems in a modern day environment and try and see how humans and human beings can coexist, and how a seamless production system works beautifully, just like in a Toyota Production System. And it's self-managed, self-correcting, high quality, and every time the end-to-end process is absolutely error-free. I think that's where we are, moving. It's a kind of a journey which will mature, where humans will learn to coexist with human beings, and that's the. And maybe I'll just close with one quote, because it's a very interesting quote, and will also be helpful for a lot of our colleagues from the finance functions. I would quote John Marino, Chief Accounting Officer of FedEx. It might be very interesting for people. So, open quote, he says, "For me, robotic process automation, analytics, advanced analytics, machine learning are three legs of the same stool." It's a very powerful statement. The combination of those technologies and the ability to deliver them in an agile manner without long lead times, extensive interface complexities, creates a tremendous opportunity to capitalize on some real big efficiency gains in virtually every staff function. The big win for us is to liberate that time and move up the finance value chain, that it delivers better value for the organization.